Mark Ike and Juliet Lyon as well. Thanks, both.
Thank you. 20 to 9, the Ebola outbreak in Sierra Leone played over on Saturday, and now the country is beginning its long road to recovery. The health system is including big part during the epidemic. Well, the BBC's global health correspondent, Juliet Mazunda, has been looking at how both were affected from the capital, Freetown.
An historic moment for Sierra Leone.
Today, 7th November 2015, the World Health Organization declares the end of the Ebola outbreak in Sierra Leone.
But there's a long road ahead.
4 government departments to have agreed budget cuts for the next 4 years, ahead of his spending review later this month. The departments of Transport, Local Government, Environment and the Treasury will cut spending by about 30%. Athletics' world governing body, the IAAF, is bracing itself.
This is my grandmother, my mother's mother, and therefore it's your great-grandmother with her 2 sisters, and then with all 3 of them, their husbands.
What kind of women were they?
They were very good wives. And so I am sure that they did not disappoint their husbands. But my grandmother then married in a way that they would be disappointed.
And what about your mother? Did she marry somebody who was acceptable?
No.
And did you?
Well, I married eventually outside of any possibility whatsoever. I mean, it was never considered. She didn't know how she was going to connect with her daughter's new liaison with her, because I told her about it. So she was very happy about it, but I didn't know how she was going to. And you must remember, we lived in South Africa, so I had no idea how she would react to the fact that he was black. Do you regret not having children?
No. Maybe I inherited that from you.
Maybe.
Because I remember you deciding that I shouldn't have children because there were more than enough children in the world.
Oh dear. And that stuck with you? A bit?
Yeah. I
Well,
just felt you were again dictating to me what I should and shouldn't do, and what was right for me.
Well, I don't know when I said that to you, but it's true. If you're concerned about the world, then it makes sense that there's a limit to the number of children that we produce. Lewis is quite a special place. Because I love London, but I didn't want to stay there. I felt much more lonely there. I was very fortunate that I found myself in Lewis.
So, Mum, can you stop?
Yes, I can stop.
Can you remember being in love with Daddy?
Yes, of course.
What do you mean, yes, of course?
It was the love of my life, goodness knows. It was really very special. I had 16 years of real pleasure. Well, it was, instead of 2 of us, there were 3. It's the excitement of having created a child, but then there's the fun of being able to share it all together. I could cope with sharing him, but I didn't want to.
What were the problems then?
Well, I didn't want to go. I needed something that was really important to me as well as the family, but I couldn't see that, and I was becoming very despondent and not useful to anybody. The role that I was supposed to play was the wife of somebody who was established in the Law Society, so he was actually a judge at the time. And I have a very good friend, and she said, you know, the thing is, you just have to learn how to be a judge's wife. I hadn't kind of connected with Trinidad. I also realised that if I did leave Trinidad, my husband and my daughter, then I had to actually do it in a way which would not damage them as little as possible. I knew that my husband would do anything that I asked in order to protect Nicola. So maybe one of the things is that I thought there would be less conflict by doing it the way that I did, rather than fighting to keep you, in having court cases. I felt the security you had in Trinidad was really important. I had nothing to come to, so I couldn't bring you.
Do you ever feel lonely?
Yes. If I feel that the house is empty, and so that's a feeling of being lonely, I appreciate the radio.